The California budget right now isn't. And while state workers are still getting their paychecks for now, some are asking how long it will last. Sebastian Kunz spoke with one state employee who was joined by several hundred others in Sacramento to try and budge the Senate to get with it on the budget. It's tonight's Top Story Spotlight. Seabass.
John, looks like we're at a month and a half right now of the California state budget crisis. I referred to it on the air the other day as California's annual state budget crisis, but it may be getting a shade or two worse this year. And while most state workers are still getting their paychecks as they normally would, things are far from normal when you dig a little deeper. Payments to vendors, office supplies, those things that cost money other than payroll checks are seriously beginning to fall by the wayside in some state offices.
As state employees, we serve the public, and we're interested in Medi-Cal services, and so there's vendors out there that are, they're small businesses, and they're not going to get paid for August.
From engineers to janitors, from the cooks in the state prisons to the nurses who check the nursing homes, the California state budget crisis is becoming serious. Karen Neef works with the State Healthcare Services Department. She told me by phone today, fortunately, employee paychecks are still coming, and that is no accident.
We were lucky, not lucky, but the state controller said he would pay us, and so we got paid on time.
So you are getting your paychecks still for right now?
Well, for July we did, yeah, but I work in IT, and so there's a lot of outsourcing, and those folks aren't getting paid. And our vendors for Medi-Cal services, there's some of those that aren't getting paid, that won't be getting paid in August.
And while the outsourced contractors were among the first to stop seeing checks arrive in the mail, it's now at the point where people, not just corporations, but real human beings, mom and pop small businesses, are seeing their services dwindle or evaporate.
Like if somebody needs a wheelchair, and so it's approved, and they need Medi-Cal to pay the bill, it's not going to happen in August, so that person has to wait. There's also, there was people talking, and one lady talked to, she takes light rail to work, and she was talking to one of the paratransit drivers, and they're going to have to look for another job because the paratransit company's not going to get paid.
As I said, we're about at day 45 or so with this impasse between the governor and the state legislature. Karen told me today's rally at the state capitol up there in Sacramento was meant to send a message.
The people were out there to put pressure on the legislature to pass a fair budget.
And she says those getting hurt are very actually no longer big companies without faces. This crisis is hurting real Californians in a real way.
What I would want the legislature to know is you need your state workers. They build up the experience. You get better quality experience. And California's people need the services that we provide.
State Senate Pro Tem Don Parada was quoted publicly as saying he had hoped the budget crisis wouldn't last longer than a month. We're about 2 weeks past that now. While some are saying that only those who are on the dole, their term not mine, are affected, it's not going to stay that way for long. But perhaps today's Orange County Register's editorial headline says it best. No budget better than bad budget. John?
Sebastian Kunz with our Top Story Spotlight. Thanks, Seabass.
Yep.